Welcome to the podcast where I talk about comics. Yes, as I always say, yeah, welcome to the podcast, Tales from Nerd. I'm your host, Random Nerd 2016 slash Kevin. And again, like I said, I talk about the books coming out every week. That's the intro. Not perfect, but I'm only human. And as always, favorite book of the week, Future State Superman House of L #1, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. The one shot, wonderful, explains the legacy of Superman, and I love it. And it's good to have a Superman book. So to see this guy writing the future Superman action comics, so excited. A lot less books this week, so it should be easier. You're gonna see some new things, hopefully, in this video. But let's see what this guy says for the week. I'll go. All right, perfect, perfect. We're gonna go to the first book, which is a Marvel book, and it's Avengers number 43, written by Jason Aaron, art by Luca Maresca, colorist by David Curiel, letter by Corey Patet, designer Carlos Lau, and cover artist is Sunny Go and Leonil Francis Yu. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Enter the Phoenix. Part 4. In the beginning, there was not darkness. The fight to become the all new Phoenix heats up as the greatest heroes and villains of the Marvel Universe are trapped within the battle to decide the all new Phoenix, a bloody battle that has narrowed to a handful of desperate combatants. Thor leads the rest of the Avengers in the fight to contain the Phoenix Force on Earth, in a quest complicated by the Thunder God's own mysterious connection to the cosmic Firebird. Is this a good jumping off point? I believe, yeah, issue 44 is the finale, which I'm looking it up right now. So it's in the middle story arc. Um, this is not everyone's cup of tea right now, so I would suggest issue 46 is your jumping on point, because issue 45 will also be a King in Black tie-in. So if you're not reading King in Black, you don't want to read this. Um, I don't know. I haven't enjoyed the recent stuff with Avengers, unfortunately, and I love Avengers and I love Jason Aaron, but I'm not enjoying the work so much. But you know, things can change, so I have hope. Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next book, but I forgot to explain. Comes out every Wednesday, and DC Comics, well, Marvel Independent Comics come out Wednesday. DC Comics comes out Tuesday. So if you want to go to your local comic book shop, there you go. Go on Tuesday for DC books, or just go on Wednesday for both books, or just do a pull list, basically. Or again, if you don't know your local comic book shop, the link is always down in the description below. Yeah, moving on to the next book, a DC comic, Batman number 106, written by Joshua Williamson and James Tynion IV, art by Gleb Melnikov, and cover artist George Jimenez. The price of the book is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. The Cowardly Lot, Part 1, Demon or Detective, Part 1. Following the tragic events of Infinite Frontier number 0, Batman and his new ally, Ghostmaker, must reckon with a new gang operating in Gotham City. But are they are they connected to the emergence of the Scarecrow? Meanwhile, the shadowy billionaire Simon Singh pitches an advanced law enforcement system to the new mayor. The creative team behind the epic Joker War returns with a thrill-packed, dangerous new storyline called The Cowardly Lot. Plus, the backup story, Demon or Detective, begins as Damian Wayne is on the run. After everything Damian has gone through, can he escape Gotham and find his way back to where his journey started, to his mother, Talia al Ghul? This two-part tale concludes this month in Detective Comics 1034. So you got two writers. They're doing, like, I think for the first few issues they're doing main story and side story. That's why the price is a bit more. I think this is more reasonable than what Future State did. I think they saw how Future State was received, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna dial it back a little bit the price. And I think, if not, you know what, smart move, DC. Again, I think this should have been $3.99. $4.99 is not too bad. I don't think it's gonna say $4.99 for long. I think it's just gonna be It's gonna go back to 399, hopefully, but it is a good and perfect jumping on point. So there you go. Next up, a Boom Studios comic. We got Berserker #1, written by Matt Kindt. Keanu Reeves, art Alessandro Vitti, colorist is Ryan Kennard, and cover artist by Rafael Grandpa. The price of the book is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. Discover the next blockbuster action franchise from the iconic Keanu Reeves in his must-read comic book writing Doubt alongside New York Times bestseller co-writer Matt Kindt from Folklords and Bang! And acclaimed artist Alessandro Vitti from Marvel's Secret Warriors, in a brutally violent new series about one immortal warrior's fight through the ages. The man known only as the Berserker is half mortal and half god, cursed and compelled to violence, even at the sacrifice of his sanity. But after wandering the world for centuries, Berserker may have finally found a refuge, working for the US government to fight the battles too violent and too dangerous for anyone else. In exchange, Berserker will be granted the one thing he desires, the truth about his endless blood-soaked existence and how to end it. Um, yeah, I'm totally down for this. It's a comic book written by Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves. He's writing a comic. And of course, this comes out all March 3rd. And as always, I try to upload it on Tuesday, 6:45 or 6:30 in the morning. So, yeah, go to your comic book shop Wednesday and grab the book. I'm excited. And I'm looking forward to this because this book's been delayed for a while. So they had to switch artists. It's a whole thing. But I am totally down for Keanu Reeves writing the comic. Next up, we got a DC comic, Crime Syndicate #1, written by Andy Schmidt, art by Brian Hitch, penciled by Keon McCohen, inker by Dexter Vines, colors by Steve Olive, and lettered by Rob Lay, and cover arts by Jim Chung and Romulo Fajardo Jr. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. The New Deal, Part 1, Strange Visitor. Spinning out of the pages of Dark Knight's Death Metal, the multiverse is reborn, and Earth 3 with it. In this is 6-issue miniseries, witness the true origins of the malevolent makers of mayhem known as the Crime Syndicate, as a common foe unites them. But how long can alliances last between villains like these? Also in this issue, it's the origin of Ultraman in our special backup story drawn by superstar artist Brian Hitch. Totally down 6-issue miniseries about villains because we haven't had a good villain book from DC in a while. We had Deathstroke, but that ended, and I think this is the proper thing. Also, because they Owlman had that one-off. Uh, yeah, that they had that one-off special for Dark Knight's Death Metal. I'm like, okay, so he keeps being reborn, so we're gonna see Owlman again. Long and behold, they announced the Crime Syndicate book. So it's a new #1, perfect jumping on point. So there you go. So you love the character of the Crime Syndicate, evil Superman, evil Batman, evil Wonder Woman, evil Green Lantern, evil Flash. There you go. Next up, we got by Vault Comics, Giga #3, written by Alex Pancanadel, and art and cover arts by John Lee, and colors by Rosh. Lettered by Aditya Bidkar. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Evan's oldest friend returns to find the prosthetics she once built transformed into her doppelganger, and Mason and the Order of the Red Relay investigate an elephant graveyard of towering Giga remains. Now, Giga is actually I talked about issue 2, I didn't talk about issue 1. I was sitting out in my shop, I'm like, I'll pick up issue 1, because it piqued my interest because it's a robot with a human connected with a hand with a tree. I read, I'm like, holy crap, that's good. Issue 2 came out, I'm excited, and to see issue 3 come out finally as a fan of the book, holy crap, Giga. Jumping on point is issue #1, so if you want to jump on the book, jump on. It's really entertaining. It's nothing I've seen, so it's a human robot kinship, and that's all I will give you. That's all the tease I will give you. Next up, we get a Marvel comic. We got Hellions #10, written by Zeb Wells the head of X himself, Jonathan Hickman. Art and cover arts by Steven Segovia. Colors by David Curiel. Designer is Tom Mueller, sorry. And letter by Arena Maher. And cover art by Rain Barreto. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Funny Games Level 2. The Hellions are at the mercy of Arcade as they face his new psychological murder world. So, what you need to know about Hellions. It's written by Zeb Wells. It is my favorite X-Men title. This and probably Wolverine and X-Force. Actually, I like all the X-Men books, but like if you don't know, if you don't like Wolverine, and of course he doesn't like Wolverine, and you're like, I don't want to read the more popular characters, just read this and you're good. Because holy crap, the stuff they do. Uh, if you know the Krakoa storyline right now, mutants cannot die. So there you go. They're like the Suicide Squad. So if you want to jump in on point, I will tell you right now, it is issue number 9. So issue number 9 is your jumping on point. Next up, DC Comics. It is Infinite Frontier number 0, written by, this is a lot of creators, Scott Snyder, Brian Michael Bendis, Jeff Johns, Becky Cloonan, Joshua Williamson, James Hunter, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Michael Conrad, and art by Jamal Eagle, Alex Maleev, Howard Porter, David Marquez, Aletha Martinez, George Jimenez, Todd Nock, and John Timms, and cover artists by Michael Janin and Dan Jurgens. Oh, that's a mouthful. And description is a mouthful as well. So, yes, the price is $5.99, and this is the description of the book. Justice League, Batman, Wonder Woman, Wonder Girl, Green Lantern, Alan Scott, Teen Titans Academy, Superman, Green Arrow, and Black Canary, Stargirl, Green Lanterns, The Flash, and Epilogue. The next phase of the DC Universe begins here. Dark Knight's Death Metal presented the darkest threats of the multiverse. DC Future State revealed what may lie ahead. Now it's time to look into the infinite frontier of the current-day DC Universe. In Gotham City, the Joker jolts citizens awake with an attack even the Dark Knight never expected. In Brazil, a young woman discovers her destiny and her connection to the Amazons. In Belle Rev, Amanda Waller plots an invasion of Arkham Asylum. In the far reaches of space, Mongol dreams of a galactic domination while the Green Lantern Corps hosts a summit of its greatest enemies. At the Hall of Justice, the League joins forces with Black Adam. Beyond the mortal world, Wonder Woman settles into a new role in the God Sphere. And so in the DC Universe, it's the return of Stargirl in an all-new tale written by Jeff Johns. This oversized all-star issue kicks off the next great era of storytelling and excitement as top writers and artists reveal what's next for the world's greatest heroes and opens the door for some of the greatest stories of 2021. So if you want to jump in on point, this is it. This will catch you up what happened in the last few years, of death metal, Dark Knight's metal, and looking to the hope of the future of the DC universe. And I'm excited. Uh, 64 pages, 599. I will say you cannot beat that one shot of DC Universe Rebirth by Jeff Johns. Can't beat that. So that was 299. I think it was like 80 pages. So to see 599, they can't do that. That would have been cool, but like, you know what, guys? You dealt with Dark Knight's death metal. We're just gonna charge you like 399. For a 64 page. DC like, nah, let's charge 599 for jumping off point. It's not bad. I mean, you got a ton of great writers, a lot that I like, and a lot that I don't share the ideas of, but I'm down. A lot of good artists too. She's good jumping on point if you want to jump on DC right now. So there you go. Next up, we got another Marvel comic. We got King of Black, Captain America #1, written by Danny Lore, penciled by Mirko Kolak, inker by John Paul Leon, and colors by Eric Arciniega, and cover artist by Salvador Larroca. The price of the book is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. Black and Blue. Captain America is in a brutal battle to win the streets of Manhattan back from Knowles' forces, aided by the Winter Soldier and the Falcon. There's a darkness inside Steve that he's struggling to shake. Can his closest friends help him through, or will he succumb to the shadows? Danny Lore from Ironheart 2020 and Mirko Kolak from Deadpool and The Punisher join forces for a twisted and terrifying story at the heart of the war against No. Yes, so it is a tie to King of Black. Now, I like Captain America, so to see him be involved in King of Black, it's his main book in dealing with King of Black. Uh, I'm down. I'm down to see different people's uh, iteration of Captain America. So I'm down for this. You know what's funny? That Ironheart 2020 book never came out. So we'll never see that book. And yeah, so we'll see that. And before I go to the next book, so if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, the links are always down below. You can talk to me about comics anytime. I'm down. I like having conversations about these heroes or indie books, or you guys can let me know what indie book you're reading, and I'll probably pick it up and start reading that too. And of course, my friend that made music, I will always add him to the link in the description. And the comic book shop locator as well, link in the description. And the websites I use, which is leagueofcomicgeeks.com and midtowncomics.com. So back to the next book, which is another Marvel comic. We got King in Black, Gwendom versus Carnage, number 3, written by Sean McGuire, art by Flaviano Arment Taro, Enrico Renzi, letter by Ariana Maher, and designer is by Jay Bowen and Anthony Gambino and Patrick McGrath, and the cover art is done by Ken Lashley. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Part 3, Amp versus Amp, Symbiote versus Symbiote, Friend versus Friend. Unwittingly pulled into her bandmate Gwen Stacy's interdimensional adventures and the Marvel Universe, Mary Jane Watson of Earth 65 has bonded to a symbiote and become a new deadly iteration of Carnage as dragons rain from the sky and New York finds itself on the precipice of the abyss. It's up to Gwen Stacy to rid of MJ of the symbiotic spiders that have infected her and get them both home while saving any civilians MJ endangers along the way. So this is the finale of the three-part miniseries of Gwendom versus Carnage, or Spider-Man. What is Yeah, King of Black, Gwendom versus Carnage. Because we haven't seen Gwen in her book because the book ended. So very sad about that. I'm like, damn it, I'm reading that book. I'm like, no, because of the whole pandemic. Well, at least there was an end to the book. So yeah. So if you want to pick it up, you can pick up and trade. If not, you could skip it. But there you go. So if you like when Stacy, Ghost Spider or Spider-Man, when Stacy Spider, I don't know. But yeah, if you like that character, go for it. Also, before I go to the next book, I will be uploading more TCG. I bought more TCG stuff because I will be gone for a bit, so I want to make sure I have I'll have that edited, and well, I'll have the sound and video up. So TCG Saturdays will be back. I'll have all that recorded, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. They'll be all planned and scheduled. So yeah, if you're excited for that, because I can't buy any Pokemon cards. I had to go to a shop, and luckily they had something at a reasonable price. So yeah, I want to get Shining Fates, but I can't get Shining Fates because it's too expensive. Because scalpers. But we got Marvel Comics. We got King in Black, Thunderbolts number 3, written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Juan Ferreira, letter by Joe Sabino, designer is by Jay Bone, designer is also by Anthony Gambino and Patrick McGrath, and cover artist is by Kyle Hutz, and the price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Part 3, the explosive finale. What are the Thunderbolts doing with the Sentry's body? Oh no, really? That's the plan? Well, as long as everything comes out all right in the end. Wait, that's not how it ends? Yikes. Thunderbolts, it's usually like, okay, the way Anthony Rosenberg's writing it, it's like the Suicide Squad during the King in Black event. And Kingpin is the Amanda Waller. So there's your fun thing. So again, this is ending. So if you like Taskmaster, he's kind of the de facto leader. There you go, more Taskmaster love because he has his own book and he was supposed to come out this. Well, maybe there's a whole pandemic. Yeah, Black Widow was supposed to come out and Taskmaster was in it. I wanted him to be an Avengers villain for so long, but things don't happen. But good jumping off point. No. Next up, we got another King in Black tie-in. We got a King in Black, Wiccan and Hulkling #1, written by Teen Howard, art by Luciano Vecchio, colors by Espen Guterjan. I can't pronounce the name, and cover art by Jim Chung, and also by Alejandro Sanchez. The price of the book is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. In the name of the honeymoon, no time to celebrate. Wiccan and Hulkling are freshly off the marriage altar and overdue for a proper celebration. So when the Shi'ar invite them for an all expenses paid vacation at their glitziest beach resort, Wiccans already got their bags packed, but they'll have to hold the champagne because Noah and his symbiote army are expanding across the galaxy. Teen Howard and Luciano Vecchio give everyone's favorite young Avengers a honeymoon to die for. I just like Hulkling and Wiccan. I think they are an adorable couple, and yeah, I want to read more of them because I like their stuff in Empire. So again, it's a one shot. So if you want to read it, there you go. If you want more of your Hulkling fix, there you go. Also because Wiccan is in WandaVision, which I think I'll review. I don't know yet. I'm doing way too much stuff in my own personal life and trying to do everything here. But yeah. Next up, we got another comic going on. We got a comic by Image. We got Nocterra #1, written by Scott Snyder, art and cover art by Tony S. Daniel, and art and cover art also by Tomo Murray, and colors by Juan Fernandez, Daniel M. Chavez. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Full Throttle Dark Part 1. 10 years after the world is plunged into in an everlasting night that turns all living creatures into monstrous shades, the only way to survive is to stay close to artificial light. Enter Valentina Val Riggs, a skilled ferryman who transports people and goods along deadly, unlit roads with her heavily illuminated 18-wheeler. This March, legendary creators Scott Snyder from Dark Knight's Death Metal and Witches and Tony S. Daniel from Batman and Deathstroke unveil horrors beyond any shade in this exercise first issue. So if you want to jump on into a comic that deals with darkness and badassery, Scott Snyder's writing this Nocterra book. I've heard him talk about Nocterra in Comic Story's podcast. So to see, or Absolute Comics, to see this happening finally, just hearing about it, I'm excited. It's a good jumping on point. So pick it up. I think that book, and hopefully that book is good because, man, I need more Scott Snyder books because Undiscovered Country is on a pause right now. So I need more darkness from Scott Snyder. We got another book. We got a DC book. We got Suicide Squad #1, written by Robbie Thompson, penciler and cover art by Eduardo Pensica, inker and cover art by Julio Ferreira, and colors and cover art by Marcelo Miolo, letter by Wes Abbott, and the price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Assault on Arkham Part 1. Things have changed for Task Force X as Peacemaker takes over as field leader. There will be no more avenging or defending for the government's top secret task force of killers, thieves, and criminals. Amanda Waller, now back in control of the squad, sends a new squad into Arkham Asylum to recruit the deadly Court of Owls assassin Talon, while she interviews another candidate, Superboy. So, uh, Robbie Thompson's Suicide Squad. I'm excited, but I'm a little bit timid because I love Tom Taylor's Suicide Squad. I think that was the best Suicide Squad story we've had in a while. I read I read a bit of New 52. I read the Rebirth slash that new DCU. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it, but not as much. I read Tom Taylor. I'm like, okay, I'm down for this. And to see a whole new team, a whole new thing, I'm excited. Hopefully, Robbie Thompson can pull it off. I think he pulled it off fine. I think he wrote that Suicide Squad book, Future State Suicide Squad. So I kind of like what they did uh, in the little bit of issues we've had. So again, new jumping on point. So there you go. If you like Suicide Squad, there you go. We got this another DC book. We got Swamp Thing #1, written by Ranvi, art and cover art by Mike Perkins, colors and cover art by Mike Spicer, and letter by Aditya Bidikar. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Becoming Part 1. Swamp Thing returns in a new 10-issue series that stars Levi Kamei as the new Guardian of the Green. Unable to control his transformation into the monstrous Swamp Thing, Levi is thrust into the harsh, unforgiving mystery of grisly murders committed by the supernatural desert legend. Levi must revisit past events in his homeland of India and face the deadly reality of a ravenous new villain in order to comprehend what he is truly and horrifyingly becoming. A new era of global action and horror blossoms here, and Swamp Thing will be at the root of it. So, oh, I'm so excited for MV Swamp Thing. Seriously, I'm so excited for MV Swamp Thing. I am giddy when I heard like he was doing Future State Swamp Thing. I'm like, that might be cool. He did Future State Catwoman. That's cool because he ran Just Like Dark. He wrote that back up to Future State Justice League. I'm like, I enjoyed that, but we didn't get a lot of that. And then this was announced. I'm like, he's writing Swamp Thing. He is writing Swamp Thing. I think he understands Swamp Thing a lot. And I'm like, Ranvi is up and up. I think he is getting there to one of the great writers. And you know what? Perfect jumping off point because I love Swamp Thing and to see him in his own book written by Ranvi. I'm so down. We got the last book of the week, which is by IDW Publishing, Transformers slash Back to the Future #3, written by Kevin Scott, pencil cover art by Juan Samu. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Where and when are Marty McFly and his pal, the Autobot Gigawatt? That's what Biff Tannen wants to know because if he can find them, he can help his bosses, the Decepticons, find what's left of the Resistance and pound them into next week. And if Biff can't find him, well, he'd better prepare to be on the receiving end of the Decepticon whooping. Um, don't know if this book will come out on time because the funny enough, IDW has been having a lot of issues with them announcing the book will come out and then it gets delayed. So if it gets delayed, I'll cut it out. If not, you heard me rant for a few minutes. But yeah, that's all the books that are coming out this week, shorter podcast, which I'm happy for. What books are you reading for what books did you read last week? And what books are you excited for this week? And take care everyone. Be safe. Please be safe, everyone, because we're trying to defeat this pandemic slowly. Yeah, but take care, everyone, and as always, peace.